Hey everybody, what is happening? What is crack-a-lackin'? Hope everybody's doing good, doing good, doing good. We give a little shout out here to Adam and Dex over on Marfugel. Did a great show tonight. I mean, just they always do bangers anyway, but hey, call it like I see it. They did a really good job tonight, and yeah, and always have to say thanks too because they've always got my back. Always have. Ever since I've known them, I try to have theirs too. But yeah, yeah, we try not to stream at the same time, out of respect for each other and for you guys, so you guys can catch us both. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah, we got some stuff going on. So we are going to. Hey Keith, is that you, brother? IA Dant. I'm pretty sure it's you, isn't it, bud? I just want to know. You ain't gotta like tell me exactly or anything like that. I just want to make sure it's you, so I know what's going on here. Arizona, baby, what's up, Toasted? Good to see you. CR user. Okay. All right, guys. So I tell you what, let's just go ahead and get started. I know I was gonna start just in a couple minutes here, but I had the wrong intro, the wait screen. That video, I thought I had it on loop, and I didn't, and that's why it went black on you guys. So I apologize for that, but it is what it is. Hey, Deep Quake, good to see you. Great to see you. Hey, Daryl, Dwayne, what's going on? Tater Bites, love that name. What's the old big eye in the sky doing now? Hey, let me tell you something, guys. The sun has become very hyperactive in the past couple days. And we're going to go through some of this stuff because this is, we're going to have to pay attention. That's all I'm going to say. You will never see me come out here and say, oh, doom and gloom and all that kind of stuff. That never happens here. So if you guys haven't been here before, I don't do that here. And I guess for a little bit of a chat rule thing here, we do not use vulgarity. Also, I don't allow anybody to talk negative about any other channel. So please try not to do that because it will get deleted. Those are really the only couple rules, and you can't attack each other. In other words, be adults. It's really kind of what it is, but there's a lot of reasons why I don't let people, even if I don't particularly like a channel, I don't allow that. It's not a good thing to do that because, one, it's kind of cowardice for people that do that kind of stuff. And the reason why I say that is because they're not here to defend themselves. So you can say whatever you want about somebody. They're not here to even defend what you're saying. So, that kind of thing. And just out of respect for everybody, we just don't do that. It just brings drama, and we don't do drama here. So, hey Kay, good to see you. Stephanie, what's up? Kim Possible's in the house. Daryl's here. Heck yeah, guys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. And also, guys, if Adam and Dex are live, you will not see me go live. So if you see a timestamp that's like during that time that they're still on, I will not go live until they're done. Again, like I said, that's a respect thing between creators. It just, yeah, you have to kind of do that for each other. And they've done it for me, and so, yeah. Okay, so, what do we got going on? Well, the first thing I want to show you is this. This is the solar X-ray flux. Okay, we measure flares, solar flares. They use X-ray to gauge them. That's the unit of measurement. They're using X-ray in that sense. Okay, so the more X-rays that are getting produced and hitting our detectors, the higher the flare. The higher the flare. Now follow me here, okay? The higher the flare, the higher the radio blackout storm. So it has a progression. It's very much like a severe thunderstorm warning system. It really is. Like maybe you wake up one day and there is let's say a thunderstorm advisory, right? And then it gets upgraded to a thunderstorm watch. And then you're sitting here on your couch and all of a sudden your weather radio goes off. Severe thunderstorm warning. Then in 5 minutes it goes to, oh no, it's a severe thunderstorm emergency. Then it goes, oh no, severe tornado warning. Then it goes, oh no, tornado emergency. And then there's one more after that now. You guys know what that is? They call them PDS now. Particularly dangerous storm. That is the highest level of storm you can see. Okay, these are the ones that they know are producing damage. They're huge, and they will tell you if you don't get underground, you most likely will not live. So those, I'm glad they did that. You know, just to be honest with you. But those are they. You know, when I was a kid, it was severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning. You know, then you had thunderstorm watch and tornado watch. That's all you had back then. Now it ain't like that. Hey, TNAZ, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Hey, Ripper. Hey, George. Good to see everybody. You know, when I go on this late, I oftentimes it's late for me. Okay, guys. I mean, what time is it right now? Well, I guess it really ain't that late. It's only 11:40. What am I talking about? I'm just so used to, like, a lot of times when we're over there on Marfugo, it ends up being 12:30, 1 o'clock before we get off the show. I guess I'm in that mindset. Anyway, but typically I do go earlier than that. Also, guys, I do want to point out that I'm doing a morning video now. I've added that, okay? So if you guys could, please support me on that. If I was to go look right now, I don't know how many views. It's under 2,000. How many I got on that, and that's okay. I'm not saying that that's bad. That's a bad number or anything. I'm just saying if I'll have to progressively, that thing's going to have to get a little bit more views than that for me to continue to do that, because I do have to. It takes, you know, it's not just simple as pushing a button and saying, "Hey guys, this is what's going on." It takes work to get things set up. So, and the ones in the morning are more poignant and just right to the point. Bam, bam, bam. I may even start doing uploaded videos instead of live streams. But uploaded videos for in the morning, I mean, at night it's always going to be a live stream. But in the morning, if I do an uploaded video, those edited videos take 2 to 3 times as long to get done than what a live stream does. Because you got to edit it. And that takes some time. If you care about what you're editing. Okay, I just wanted to drop that, so please come back and check in the morning too, because I'm trying to do one every morning. And I will be doing a members only stream this week also. I'll probably be giving away some more cards. I might even be able to show you guys a picture of those. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can show you guys a picture of those. Let's see here. I know I have them somewhere. Yep, there's some right there. Okay, so maybe I can I bring, yep, there it goes. Okay, yeah, I can show them to you just like that. Alrighty, can you guys see those? I'm not sure if you can or not. I could be completely wrong here. I hope you can. I think you can. Let's see, yep, there it goes. Awesome. So sweet, yeah. So this is a set of bicycle cards, guys. My wife found these right here, these Sunspot cards. They don't make them anymore. My wife found a couple bricks of them. So I've been giving them away to you guys. You know, and these things are very high quality cards too. And everybody that I've sent them out to so far love them. So what I do is I'll usually just do a random number generator. And whoever's there, you know, and we do it that way. And we make it very random. That way there's no... Now we might instigate like a game or something on a members only stream. But on a regular stream, it's going to always be a random number generator. Or in a members only, we may have a little bit more fun with that. But, yeah, so I just try to go a little extra there for you guys. You know, take that for what it's worth. Okay. So let me just get off of that. And, what did I do there? Okay, so let me bring up the screen that I just deleted. Okay, hold on 1 minute here, guys. I'm sorry. Here we go. All right. So we're back here. This is NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. Okay, so now I'm going to just pay attention here, guys, okay? And get through the space weather stuff here so you guys get the information. Because this is something we need to know about, okay? This is decent, up there kind of space weather news. So the sun's been very, very active. And we've been talking about the activity going off the backside. Well, guess what? Now we're getting it in the front. And right now there's a phenomenon called Earth facing quiet. We've noticed this before, and it does come into play sometimes. And what that means is when things rotate through the Earth strike zone, and let me show you what that is. Is it here? Here, we'll just use this one. Okay, this is SDO, the satellite from our perspective. It's in geosynchronistic orbit, which means it stays over the same part of our planet. Okay, and it rotates around. This is the satellite that got eclipsed, and we'll go over that here in just a second too. I put that in my title because a lot of people don't know what's going on when they see that. But right here is the Earth strike zone. So when anything happens inside this little box right here, most likely it's going to affect the Earth. Okay, so that's why I pointed out. Now I'm just simply going to push play on this, and you're going to see the past 2 or 3 days of activity. It's just going to start boop, 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 everywhere. Okay, but sometimes we see in that box that I just mentioned, the Earth strike zone, we'll get Earth facing quiet. A lot of times things will come around, they'll get in that area right there, and they'll quit being active. We don't know why that happens. It doesn't always happen, but we do see it quite often. So when they are firing in the Earth strike zone, we do pay more attention, obviously. But you can, just by what I'm showing you here, you can definitely tell the activity is really upticking here, okay? And with the increase of activity doesn't necessarily mean the increase of, powerful stuff. It just increases the chances of those things happening. Okay? Now, we actually had a couple, and what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to slow this down for you guys. Sorry. That's probably moving kind of fast. But, yeah, so you can kind of see, do you see those two sunspots communicate with each other? You see that? Those are called sympathetic sunspots. So when they're acting up at the same exact time and they're connected there, they're called sympathetic. That was an X flare over there. Matter of fact, I'll pause it and we'll take it back to that. Let's take it back right about there. Okay, that's your X flare. Okay, now I showed you guys this yesterday. I find it interesting because we see these arcs, right? And those are magnetic connection lines. Well, this one is actually an arc, but it's going left to right. If you can kind of picture this, okay? And it's clearly seen here why that's actually happening. So the flare actually starts off here, and it moves as that energy moves across that connection line. Watch. See how it's moving towards the back? That's exactly what happened there. We got a really cool perspective this time. We don't always get that, right? But it happens almost every time, especially with longer duration ones. And longer duration means a better chance of having CMEs and stuff happen with them. Now, this one here ends up being a very, very, I'll just say intense. It's pretty intense, and I'm going to pause it here in just a second. Right there. Okay, so I'll back it up a little bit here. So I want you guys to see this one. I showed this yesterday, but you got these two sympathetic sunspots right here, right? So they basically combined and made this flare. So you can see it happen. Did you see that little flash right there? That was a little bit of a flare. And then you get that just out of nowhere over here. What happened? Well, it was a reconnection point, okay? When you get positive and negative hanging around each other from wherever, from whatever sunspots, when they start getting close to one another, or inside the same sunspot, you get positive and negative. When it starts to become more complex, you get more poles, Okay? You know how we've talked about North and South Pole, negative, positive, right? We all understand that. But most people don't know that really there's like 4 poles on the Earth. There's 2 north and 2 south poles, guys. I mean, it's just how it works. And there's probably even more if you dig into all the magnetics. But for general purposes and talking to everybody, we always just keep it as one. Because the other one gets a little complicated when we start talking about that. But when those things start swirling around each other and positive and negative are drawn to each other, guess what happens? You get a reconnection point, and that reconnection, when it hits, if it's powerful enough, you'll get a flare. That's exactly what happened here. So let me back that up. You got nothing there, right? The timestamp is 6:26. 10 minutes later, you got this flare right here. So, and it's already hit the light was so intense, it's actually starting to, that's why you get this distortion. The camera can't handle all the light, so that's what it does with it. And then it kind of clears up right there. And you can see that here's that arc. So it's even underneath the arc. That's plasma right there. On top of that. So the flare itself is light. It's X-ray. It's radiation. Now, did you see that right there? I explained this yesterday too. You see what happened there? That satellite got eclipsed. What did it get eclipsed by? It got eclipsed by the Earth. And let me explain why. I just told you guys this was geosynchronistic orbit. We get 2 different seasons, SDO. This satellite in particular has 2 different eclipse seasons. And I explain this every time it happens because I think it's necessary. Also, we had this flare here, but this one up here started flaring too, which is very common. Everything starts becoming disrupted, right? So if I bring up another SDO here, and which is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go back to the home page on SDO, and we're going to look how this satellite works, okay? And this is going to show you the eclipse itself. It's pretty cool, because this is real time. This is exactly where this satellite's at right now, and exactly how it's moving. So, if you look up here, you see this yellow line? That's the eye of the camera. You see how it's rotating? It always keeps its eye on the camera. Look at the termination line here. So what happens is that eye and the Earth, just a little bit of the Earth up here is enough to make it look like it's an eclipse. It's not looking like it actually is. So the Earth is passing between the satellite and, see that right there? Okay, why does it move backwards? You guys know? I've explained this before too. Because that actually went retrograde, right? It went to a certain point and then spun around and went the other way. That's why, let me go back to this one. That's why when we see it happen, you see how it kind of looked, it went from like south to north? Right? Now watch the first part of the sun that comes back here. Where's it at? It's over here. How is that possible? Shouldn't it be the same direction? Right? Well, let me explain to you why that's happening. So if we scroll down here, this satellite's doing a figure 8 pattern. So when this satellite, at this particular exact time, when the Earth's horizon, right here, is being eclipsed, it's catching it right at the peak of this figure 8 pattern. So in other words, right when it's getting eclipsed, it's here, but yet it's still going forward with this figure 8. So it causes it to actually be the eclipse to go away in a different direction. I know it's all complicated and everything. I hope I explained that well enough. But for what we do here, guys, just know that the Earth is passing between the satellite and the sun. It's going to happen for a couple weeks. There's a couple days where we actually miss like a half hour of data because of it. But that's okay. It's very normal. It's forecastable. It's not, we expect it to happen. We know it's going to happen. But, so anyway, I just wanted to explain that to you. Because people do get confused with this, guys, and I can see why. It can be very confusing. But geosynchronistic orbit simply means geo means Earth. Synchronistic is what? It's in sync, right? So Earth sync. That's really what the word means. Why is it, so it's staying in sync with the Earth right here. So it's orbiting the Earth at the same speed that we rotate around our axis, which is 15 degrees an hour. Now I know it was a kind of long explanation there, but that needed to happen. I probably won't do that again until next week, okay? Because I'll probably do it one more time to explain to everybody what's going on with this eclipse stuff. Because I used to think it was something crazy, and it's not. It's very, 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 very explainable. Okay? So, with that being said, look at this. Yeah. I mean, come on. And I know anybody that's never seen this particular image, what this is the sun, and it's showing you the sunspots. Okay? And just because there's a little dot there, don't mean that that's a sunspot. It's not an official sunspot yet. What I can do, and I did it the other day because I think you guys like to look at it this way, and I do too. I wish I could show you the movie tool over here at Helio Viewer, but I don't because it eats up so much bandwidth, it makes me buffer. So I don't want to do that. But what I'm going to do here is we'll take it to the 17th. Okay, you see how that moved? I'm doing this so you guys can get an idea of how big these sunspots are. That's the size of Earth. That's the actual Earth scale. Okay? So if you just drag this over, you can fit Earth inside each one of these. Okay? That's how big these sunspots are, even though they look like little dots to us. Also, when you see something on the side of a sphere, when you're looking directly at it, it's going to appear to be smaller than what it actually is. As it rotates towards the middle, dead on, you got to think of it, because over here, technically, on a sphere, it's further away from you. So as this rotates, whatever's here actually gets closer to you as it gets to the middle. That's why that's a parallax effect. And that's, you know, I could prove that out to you with two different size, I don't know, a baseball and a golf ball inside the same room, and I could prove that to you without using anything space related. It's just an effect you see with spheres from a distance, from a certain perspective. But I like showing you guys this because it does give you an idea. Now, what I can do here too that I didn't do yesterday, check this out. I should have done this yesterday. Let's go to the 193 angstrom. Now, this is SDO, right? You can see SDO on multiple different websites, okay? The data's there. So, anyway, you see this coronal hole? Look at this. When I say that that's a big coronal hole, I mean it, okay? And if we go back a day or two, it was even bigger. So let's go back to, let's just say the 14th. Let it load there a little bit. Went back too far. Sorry. Let's go to the 15th. Okay, let's go to the 16th. I'm trying to get it right in the middle, just so you see it. Okay, so right there, look at that thing. You see how big it is compared to the Earth? So when I say you can fit 50 Earths inside a coronal hole, I'm not kidding. It's the actual truth of the matter. So also, what I'll do is I'll show you the 211 here. And again, Helio Viewer is awesome for single imaging. Look at that. You see that? Why is that bigger? You guys know? It's the same day. It's because we're looking at a different angstrom of light. This is a different gas. This is 211 angstrom, part of the light spectrum. The one I showed you prior to this was the 193. It's just a different filter. Okay? So, but look at all the Earths you could fit inside here. Look at this. So, and we've seen sunspots cover, well, not sunspots, but coronal holes go from north to south. Almost completely covering the front part of the sun. We've seen that before. So it's not like it's an extreme thing. I just want you guys to realize the gravity of what's going on when we say that there's an open hole in the atmosphere of the sun. That's a lot of the surface of the sun to be exposed. And highly charged particles come flying out of that. And they get here. They get here on a magnetic connection line. It's called the IMF line. Interplanetary and magnetic field lines. They get here that way, magnetically, negative to positive. Positives drawn to negative, negative positive. It causes movement, right? So it's moving from one direction or the other. So that's how we get coronal hole streams. That's why they call it that. The corona is opened up. It's a hole, and it's getting a stream of solar wind coming out of it. Now remember, it's not wind like low pressure filing into high pressure or vice versa, creating that flow of actual particles here on the planet that blows your hair back, right? No, that ain't what we're talking about here. We're talking about highly charged particles, plasma. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. It's nothing more than a charged gas. That's what plasma is. And when it hits our planet, guess what? It can give us geomagnetic storms. That's exactly what we're talking about with Cme'S and stuff like that. Okay? Just so you guys understand. Ooh, look at that. I can zoom in just by using the... Wow, I didn't know I could use my scroll for that. Look at that. That is cool. See, I haven't messed with Helio Viewer very often, can you tell? So you can just grab it right here and start moving it around, make everybody dizzy for a second. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah. That is definitely right in front of us, and we're going to be getting some energy from that. So, what I'll do now, I do want to show you the 304 here on SDO from the SDO site, okay? We're able to see filaments show up, which is nothing more than magnetic lines laying on the surface of the sun or in the corona. And right here is where the bigger one's coming from here. So check this out. Right about there. Okay? I'll stop it and we'll bring it back. Okay. What time is that? I think it was... Okay, went too far. Sorry, guys. Okay, right there. Okay, so I showed you guys this yesterday, but I thought it was really cool that looked kind of like a dragon. I mean, it's got the tail, it's got the feet, you know, kind of eyes and breathing fire, baby. I just thought that was cool. That's the only reason why I even brought it up. But this is that eruptive flare that happened. Okay? And as you can tell, it ain't the only place on the sun erupting. Look down here. Wham! That's another one. One happened up here. One happened over here. Right? So, and right here in front of us, the sun actually camouflages our view. We don't have the blackness of space as contrast. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, okay, to kind of guess where things are going. So that's what I'll say on that. We miss things because of it. And during solar maximum, there's so many things going on all at once, it becomes very hard to forecast it. They've already missed one already, and I'm talking about a big one they missed. And it, you know, and I don't fault anybody for that. It's just stuff that happens. So, you know, we had stuff that they thought went off the backside and didn't. It came this way. How is that possible? Some of you guys are probably asking me. This is why. You see this? This is SOHO. Okay? Satellite's here, Earth is here. It's our point of view. That satellite's about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. Nothing more. That's all it is. It's as if you walked outside and looked up. Okay? So how could they miss something thinking it went off the back? Well, number one, they're using models at first. Okay? So models aren't perfect. We know this. They're constantly changing them and upgrading them and just trying to make them as more accurate as time moves forward. But the reason why, I'll just do this real quick. So I want to show you this anyway. So let me back this up. So that's an actual disc on the imager. So we can't see what's behind it. So when we get these things blowing off of the sun, and I'm going to back it up here because that's one of the Cme'S. Okay, actually I'm just going to go forward. How about that? Let's hit start. Stop it right there. Okay, so we get what we call a halo signature. Nothing, it just looks like a halo because it's peeking around this disc. So if something's coming right at us or going directly away from us, it's going to look exactly the same on this image because of this occulter disc. That has to be there to block the light or we wouldn't get an image at all. So as I go forward here, I'm going to back it up to the start of the, you see this down here? The start of the time lapse. These are movie tools, but it's not a movie. You're getting an image about every 12 minutes. Okay? And then it's like a flip book, cartoon flip book you used to make when you were a kid. Right? So you run that all together and you do it fast enough, it looks like a movie. But make no mistake, this is not 60 frames a second. This is one frame every 12 minutes. Okay? It's a big difference. So anyway, as you can see all that energy, right? We know that there was an eruption there. We used to be able to go over to stereo A, which we had a side view. We don't have that anymore. Stereo A is hanging around our planet. But you can definitely tell something happened here, right? So how do we like suss this out and try to figure out what's going on? Well, let me show you. First off, this was put up here for CME detection. So if it sees a CME, it'll put it down here at the bottom of this site. And you can actually just click on the event. Right here. You see that? That's a different CME. Okay? So the one we want to look at, I believe, is this one. Nope. It's actually before that. I think it's this one. Yep, there it is. Okay? So we can look at it there. And so when we see it right there, we got to go look at a different satellite. And the reason why, because we don't have another perspective yet. We only got one perspective. Where can we go? Well, we can go back over here to our old friend SDO. Right? And that timestamp will match up with this. Okay? 1711. What time did that one fire? Let's find out exactly here. Hold on. Right about... Come on. Okay, so right about timestamp on the 17th at 6:30, let's say, UTC time. Remember, always use UTC. It's about a 4-hour difference on East Coast time to UTC. So if it's 12 o'clock UTC, that means it's 8 here on the East Coast, or Eastern Standard. All right. So let's see if we can't match that up. Well, look what happened right here. What's that say? It matches up. That matches this. I know this is saying before, and let me explain why. This is not the surface of the sun. This circle here is representing the surface of the sun. So there's some time from the surface to when we can see it outside of the occulter disk, which is usually roughly around an hour. And that's exactly what you're seeing there. Okay? So that particular eruption is what's causing this. Right there. Okay? So let me... go up here to this one. I'm trying to find the halo one for us again. 7, 16. Okay, so right there. That's at the turn of the day, right? So let's go over here and see what we can find. Okay, and you're seeing other eruptions happen. Let me show you. We got these other sunspots up here too. Okay, you see all that stuff happening? So, yeah, that's how we decide if it's coming at us or going off the back. I just wanted to show you guys that so you guys understand the process that we have to go through to figure this stuff out. And after doing it for a minute, you do get fairly efficient at it, okay? So, again, this is on the 16th, right into the 17th. This here, this particular one is this eruption right here, okay? Again, I know it doesn't line up exactly. It's not going to, okay? Because it's coming right at us, number one, so it takes a second to fan out to poke out around the occulter disk here. So we're talking multiple hours, okay? And that's why that's not exactly timestamp to timestamp. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. It's about perspective, okay? So that one's coming right at us. So let me show you guys. And again, now you're looking at this a little different, aren't you? I mean, anybody hasn't seen this before, or even this one. We could, let's just do this. Has this got stereo A on it? Yep. Check it out. Watch this. That's stereo A. Now, I will say this. There's a 3-hour lag when you're, not 3 hour, a 3-day lag when you're looking at stereo A. So that's why I don't even bother showing it to you here. It's just, it's not real time. It's 3 days ago. So, well, the ultraviolet isn't. But if we go down here and we change it to Core 2, we'll take a look at this, but it may not be much of any. Yeah, see, it's even got it blacked out because it just doesn't. There's Core 1. So we can, ooh, I went way too crazy there. There it is, okay? That's Core 1. Yeah. That's Core 2. I can back it off some, and we can get a little bit of an image here, right? So what I'll do, I guess we'll just zoom in this way. Okay, so again, that's actually a scratch on the lens, guys. I'm serious. It's been there for years. I know it's crazy to think that, but that's, it's out there in space. No protection at all from anything. It's not inside our magnetic field. So it's out there just getting blasted with solar weather all the time. Okay? So let's go back here and we'll go to... let's go back to... well, we can kind of look at Soho here too, I think. We'll change that to LASCO C2. Okay, yeah, we can see LASCO C2 here. That's the same image I just showed you guys. Now that's at 1650 on the 16th. Again, I'm not sure if it even lets, well, okay, we'll go to the 17th here. It's going to let us, but we don't see much because it's not a movie. It's just a single image. So I'm not going to waste time with that. But anyway, look at all that. Now we can look at on SDO here, and we can back up a little bit, and I'll show you the magnetogram. The magnetogram is a color version there's a colored version of that, and what this does for us, it allows us to see positive and negative right where the sunspots are at. So blues and reds are the positive and negative. So you just heard me say a little while ago, when they start swirling around each other, you see that right there? That little red core is right up against that thing, right up against the blue core. When you start seeing that, you better start looking for flares, because it's going to happen. Okay, so if I bring this forward to here, this one here, guys, we're going to have to watch. It's getting bigger. There were 4 main cores, but it's getting more complex now. Not so much big, just more complex. You can see the stuff mixing. So that thing's, in my opinion, is probably going to start blowing some significant flares here in the next day or two, or it could do it at any time. But this one here is the one that really got us this last time. So now let's take a look at this double tap coming right here. This is NOAA. This is the little spiral, and I think I showed this yesterday, if I remember right. I know I showed it this morning. So anyway, this gives us 2 days historic data, and then it tries to forecast out 5 days in advance. And as time progresses, they will change their model. As more data comes in, more accurate data, they will change this to reflect that, and they should. I hate it when people get like, oh gosh, they changed it, now something's wrong. No, they're changing it so we have the right information. That's why here, I'm not claiming anything anywhere else. I'm just saying in this particular case, that's why they do that. This is a forecast model, not something that just happened. So I don't trust it 5 days out. I've said that 100 times. I go about 2 or 3 days and I'm stopping right there. Anything after that, I'll look at it and I'll take it into consideration with my thought process. But anything more than that, I just drop it and let it go. Okay? But you can see the double hit I'm talking about. You see that little first initial boof, and then boof, and then you get a third one here. Right? So why are we seeing a third one right there? Well, let me show you why. So this is the conditions at Earth. Notice the density here is at 25. Typically this is 0 to like 10. 4 is what we consider normal, but I've seen this take hits of 40 or 50 and not get us the geomagnetic storm. So it all has to play all together. So what's happening here, so let me back this up. So the CME blows off right there, right? That's one of them. There's a second one right behind it. See that? Now, people call these things cannibal CMEs. They do not, the one behind it does not eat the one in front. They do not combine. Okay? It's almost impossible for that to happen. And let me explain to you why. We're talking about magnetics. So when you get positive going against positive, what's it do? It pushes away from itself. They'll push away from each other. So you can't really get all that to just be all encompassed as one. So what happens is we get this snowplow effect. Right here is that first initial CME. The one behind it, you can think of the first one like a wall, right? And then you got the other one is your shovel, and the particles in between them is the snow. So as the one behind it is getting closer and closer to the one in front of it, it's piling up all those particles. So it gives us like a third CME. It's a third shock wave in between the two. So when that's happening, you know, we call it a double tap, but most of the time it ends up being a triple. Now, if this second CME was back here still, I wouldn't be saying that. It wouldn't be as important to say. You would still get a little bit of that snowplow effect, but when the one behind it's moving fast enough that it actually is catching up, and also, look where it catches up. Right when it hits us. We see this a lot. So, when all that's happening all at once, first off, it becomes very hard to forecast it, which is why I don't. I nowcast. I explain to you guys what's going on, right? So, as we're moving there, let me, boom. See that? So you get one initial hit, you get another hit, and then you're going to get a third. Okay? And not to mention, guys, this coronal hole. Remember I said it's magnetics, right? These coronal holes, depending on the polarity of the coronal hole stream, it can actually steer these CMEs one direction or the other because of magnetics. So again, all this stuff is taken into consideration. I can't forecast out. I can't do that. First of all, I don't have the knowledge base. Second, in my opinion, without using models and things like that, it would be almost impossible to do in any sort of oh, I don't know, any sort of accuracy. So, yeah. Hey, Menacing. Hey, Steven. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break right here, guys, to listen to me here real quick. If you guys could, give me a roll call in there, if you would. I'd really appreciate that. I don't want to know exactly where you're at. Just give me your region. I do like to know. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody that's been becoming members, gifting the memberships. It's really making a difference in my wife and my family's life. I just have to say that. And we have a lot of fun on the members only stream. My goal is to do one a week, but it ends up being like 2 to 3 a month typically. My daughter's still in high school. She's a senior this coming year, and I'm not going to miss anything. I missed enough, and I'm not missing any more. So that's why. I'll still be here all the time, but, you know, as far as like scheduling something 3 days in advance, I can't do that because my schedule is all over the place. So just to let you guys know that. But members only, really do try to give you at least a 12 to 24 hour, hey, I'm going to be here roughly at this time. BK's in Nevada. Soon and very soon's in Texas. Heck yeah. Lisa, Mississippi. Boulder, Colorado, Mr. Floyd. Tater Bites, Alabama. Heck yeah. I knew somebody from Alabama. He liked to run a lot. I'm just kidding. Forrest Gump. An old dad Forrest Gump joke. Mr. Floyd, baby. Barbie. It's in Ohio. Let's see here. Oregon, Chewy. I love the name, by the way. I have a, you know what? I haven't shown you guys this. Indulge me here for 1 second, guys. I want to show you guys something. I feel bad I haven't shown you guys this before. Okay. You guys can see that, right? Right now, this is where I'm sitting. This is my quote unquote. I got a little corner in my wife's room, and that's where I do all my YouTube stuff. Okay, so if I grab, as you can see, I'm a Star Wars freak. Got all these Funko Pops. Look, check this out back here. This is so cool. It says I am their father, and it's got all 3 of my kids' names with lightsabers. Let's see here. What else? That up there, that's my dog dressed like a Jedi. I got that picture for Christmas last year. It was pretty cool. So anyway, as you can see here, I'll stop right here because that's kind of focused in pretty well. I got Yoda cups. I got, that's Darth Maul. I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't hate me. Okay, you either hate me or love me every time I say that. This right here, guys, regardless if you're a Cowboys fan or not, that right there is signed by DeMarcus Ware. My son got me that. It is so freaking cool. Anyway, that right there, yes, that's a Mark McGwire card. I had like 8 Mark McGwire rookies, USA team rookies, and they got stolen from my locker at school. And fast forward to when he broke the home run record, that probably just ripped about $10,000 right out of my pocket. So anyway, I got Legos. Adam's actually a Star Wars fan too. This right here is the Death Star. I got an R2-D2, Millennium Falcon, and a Yoda, and I can change the colors there. So yeah, and then this right here. Well, there's Dad's coupons from my daughter. I can get a back scratch, that kind of thing. Dishes, those kinds of things. Anyway, this is an old TV my son gave me. I use as a monitor. I actually plugged my laptop into it because I'm getting old. So yeah. East side of Indianapolis, baby. Miss Dragon, good to see you. Oh, do you? You have Ravens, Crows, and your, that's pretty cool. Hey, Trish, what's going on? Leisure, what's happening, brother? Renee Woods, good to see you guys. I'm surprised everybody's here like that. That's awesome. Mark, what's up? Andy, Funky Blue. Renee's in the house. Siggy, where you been at, brother? Wow, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Sayer, Okay, awesome. All Fan Holistics. I just talked you over on Marfugo, didn't I? All right. So, anyway, I wanted to show that to you guys because I felt like I needed to. I hadn't really ever shown you guys this. And see that right there, guys? That's a blue Yoda holding Wages World. See if I can get a better focus there. Here, I'll push play. Ah. It's blurry when I go to pause it. But yeah, look back here. What's that? That's a Kool-Aid, man. Heck yeah. Check out these Mandalorian cards. I got some pretty cool stuff my kids have gotten me. Those are Dallas rings. My other son 3D printed me a Darth Vader bust. It's awesome. It's not in this particular picture, but I'll show it to you one of these days. All right, back to space weather. Sorry, guys. I hadn't shown that to you guys. I've been meaning to. I really have. So let's go ahead and X out of that. Now, okay, to circle back around, guys, we got this double hit coming. Noah's saying it. Now let's see what. Hey, Funky Blue, thank you for the super chat. Awesome, thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated every time. I'm going to say thanks. People get mad at me when I say thanks. Now, there are times that I do overdo it. I get it. I went back and watched. I was annoying myself. But, yeah. I am so grateful. I really am. I'm humbled that you guys even want to do that. So thank you again, Funky Blue. All right. Let's look at the NASA model. I want to show you the NASA CME tracker. Okay. It's basically the same model. They just take certain things into more consideration than the others when they enter the data. Okay, so NASA's showing it hitting us too. Okay, top down, there's a side cut. This over here is our orbital line stretched out in a straight line. So when it's hitting us on all three, watch it blur right there. That's a hit. NASA thinks it's going to hit. Okay. And so does the official forecast, which is NOAA. Okay? So, yeah. Now, Aurora. Guys, if we start getting any kind of geomagnetic storm, we're going to be seeing this Aurora just go crazy. And I do think we're going to get into G1, G2. I'll have to say G3 possibly later on in this week just to see what's, just kind of watch it. But, yeah. This right here is the absorption D region. This right here shows us where the flares hit. It's always on the day side. Okay? So when the flares hit, it's showing us where. I'm not going to go too much more into that model. But if we go back up here and check out, look at this, guys. You see that? I wondered there for a second when I was looking at that. We're getting another flare live. So, hey, hey Trish, you're here again. Every time you come in here, we get some stuff happening live. That's awesome. It's still on its way up, guys. That's just now happening, so I'm not going to have any data to show you. What I can, this right here is probably as close to real time as I can show you on it. And what you're going to see, yeah. See how when we get a flare, watch. Well, back here. Watch this one. See that hit right there? And then watch it taper off. Right? Watch over here on this latest flare. Up, 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 up. It's not going back down yet. Okay? So it may not be at its peak. Is what I'm trying to say. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Back at you, Anna. Back at you. Much love to you. Jacqueline, what's up? Stephen A is in the house. Leslie, what's up? What is crack-a-lackin'? Okay. I was wondering, guys. I thought about selling some, doing some, like, I don't know, Wages World or Kool-Aid Man mugs. Would you guys be interested in something like that? If you are, just let me know. If you're not, if you something you guys wouldn't even consider, I don't want to, I just thought it'd be pretty cool to have some Wages World like drinking mugs or some, incorporate my old channel name, which was Blue Kool-Aid. So, Yeah. Okay. Just let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that. If you would, I might be able to make that happen. Okay. So, anyway, and as always, guys, I got a rule right now. If a video gets 5,000 views, I'll give away a deck of cards to somebody on the next live stream. So, if we get to 5,000 views on any video here in the near future, I'll give away a deck of cards. One of those sunspot cards that I showed you guys earlier. Trying to see if I missed anything yet. Oh, hey, Mars is going to get Aurora from that big X flare that busted off the side there. Okay, this is Titan, the Moon Titan. That's Saturn. It's a transient across. They were able to catch it right there. Red rainbows. Here we go. Are normally rainbows are normally red, yellow, green, and blue. In short, all the colors of the rainbow. This guy here, Gustavo Menendez's. If I just butchered your name, I apologize. Madison, Wisconsin, caught one that was red. Let's see here. Okay, that makes sense. If you guys understand how rainbows work, red was the only color available. That's what it says, but it's correct. Okay, all the other colors have been scattered by the air molecules around this thunderstorm. Okay, that's why. That's why it's red. So, pretty simple explanation there, but that's why. Pretty cool stuff. But go over here and check out spaceweather.com. Dr. Tony Phillips kills it with this website. It's really cool. You can go back to any day. He's got it all archived over here. He's also got the near Earth object charting data down here. They measure, they use the measurement of lunar distance, LD, when they're talking about near Earth objects. So he actually did this on his own. This is something I believe he started. So it's becoming very, very, big. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So come over here and check that out too, if you're interested in that. But yeah. So other than that, unless you guys got some questions, that's all I got for you guys. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I know I'm flipping around pretty quick there. I just don't want to miss something tonight. Let's let this thing. Okay. We got any data yet for the 18th? Nope. Well, we got this. What's this showing us? Yeah, nothing yet. Okay. You guys got any questions? Sun divers? Yeah. We can see a lot of them on this particular. I'll tell you what. I'll push play on these right here, so you guys can see the sun right now from SDO here on ISWA. And I'm going to check the chat here and see if you guys got any questions. Dark matter, what is it? Yeah, I'm not getting into that. That's a long question. Hey, Pan B, good to see you, neighbor. Yep, Wrath. Yeah. Lawn care, man. If anybody ever did any lawn care stuff, yeah. I'm with you, Funky Blue, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty interesting too there, Leslie. That stuff's interesting to check out. It really is. All right, guys. 70 Moonos. Blue Kool-aid Krew tea. Okay. I got you. If you guys have any ideas like that, please email them to me. Because I'm not going to see them every time in the chat here, guys. It's hard to kind of watch it and do everything else, too. I try, but I do miss a lot because of that. Yeah, this flare could end up being fairly good size. It does look like it has the potential there. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, it's still on its way up, it looks like. Yeah, it ain't moved yet. So, yeah. Alright, guys. I think I am going to go ahead and cut it off here. We've been on here for right at an hour. I tried to keep it to that or less. I find people lose interest, and the algorithm doesn't like it either. But thank you, Funky Blue, and who else? Who else donated the memberships? Daggone it! I said thanks to you earlier. I apologize. I'm sorry. I can't look at it right now. When you're live, you don't get to see that stuff. It only stays on screen for a very short amount of time. Who was it? Daggone it! I'm sorry. I am so sorry about that. But thank you. I'll say thank you again on the next stream. I'll figure it out in between there. Alright, guys. I am going to go ahead and pop off. So, hey, please, guys, come back. Magic Moon, love it. Please come back and support me in the morning video. Leave me a comment underneath this one. Hit the like button. And please share it out. That's really the only thing that we can do to really truly grow the channel, and it just keeps people understanding, you know. Prayers for Andy. I'm not sure what's going on with Andy, but let's go back and look. Oh, you got major surgery on Monday? Yeah, definitely throw some ones in the chat for Andy in there, would you? Deep Quake, baby. Oh yeah, TNAZ did the memberships. Thank you, TNAZ. I just remembered that. Thank you. Thank you for those gifted memberships. It's awesome. Alright, guys. I am going to go ahead and kick off here. So, anyway, God bless. See you guys here in about 5 or 6 hours. 7 hours. Siggy! God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.